Freshradiovybz, the most feared internet radio station on planet Earth, the resistant radio station. Fresh Radio.
Yes, we people, you say, call we are good. Oh, me people, you say, call we are good. Yes, we are good. Oh, we are good. Oh. Oh, me people, you think I oh, me people, you think I my own people, you say, carry you, we are good. Come make good. Mustafa. People, you say, call me, oh, yeah, people, you say, call me, people, you say, call me, oh, Santa Maso, come up, Santa Maso, come up, people oh, people, we will be people,
most feared internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Fresh Radio Vibes. Internet radio station on planet Earth. The resistant radio station. Fresh Radio Vibes.
Gotta say grand rising to each and every one. Yes, I. Love and share and subscribe. What a joy, what a joy. United we stand, divided we fall. Gonna get into it, gonna get into it. Every science, every science. Remember, this morning program is brought to you by Nyamin's Restaurant. All kind of things going down. We're gonna talk to the Colonel this morning. We tell you from yesterday we're not trying to get the Colonel done. They call you Mado Man. Mado Man, they call you Mado Man. Mado Man, they call you Mado Man. Mado Man. Trying to get some answer. You know when people say something and don't want to, but them have all kind of things to say. We represent the maroon globally. Globally. Not just in the village. And as we say, we are not maroon. We're not Jamaicans, we're maroons. Mado man, they call you Mado man. Mado man, they call you Mado man. Mado man, they call you Mado man. Yeah, let's just pick up all our platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Mado man, Mado man, Mado man. Let's just pick up all the corporation, all the brothers and sisters globally that is locked on. Whether you're in Trinidad and Tobago, whether you're in Barbados, Bahamas, Haiti, Grenada, Bermuda, Dominica, St. Vincent, This is how we call upon the ancient ancestors. Man, they call you. Man, they call you. Man. We understand that they are Kongpong Town people, them listening. If you're from a Kongpong Town, feel free to give us a call. The number to call is 260-209-8730. We're also gonna touch base with Scotsall, the Scotsall Maroon. We're going on one maroon. We are not Jamaicans, we are maroons. We're not Vincentian, we are maroons. We're not Dominicans, we're maroons. We're not Antigua and Bermuda, we're maroons. We're not British Virgin Islanders, we're maroons. We're not St. Kitts and the Nevis, we're maroons. And we will forever push this narrative. We're not Trinidad and Tobago people, we're maroons. Maruma, they call you, Maruma. Maruma, they call you, Maruma. Maruma, they call you, Maruma.
Freshradiovybz, the most
the trait of king to resolve, that's what kings do. They resolve things and bring everything to resolution. Now, my business is cannabis. In most countries it is legal, which means that it is kind of tenuous and very close-knit, you know. Now, I lost my 312 number, I lost my 804 number. People were unable to get in touch with me. So someone I was in business with could not find me. No, that means I'm Compound Maroon. They know that I'm in a Compound Town, so they came to Maroon Town trying to find me because they haven't been hearing from me for months. My number's changed, them don't know the number. Richard Curry was driving around and going to other people like you can attempt to criminalize Daniel Badra. Here we know Mr. Curry and the rest of Jing Bang them, the police woman that was running up and down with you, or ex-police or whatever she is. No, you can't police anybody until you resolve and address the issue of the kidnapping of Mr. Dave Reed and the attempt to extort funds out of him by Mr. Anu Zion El and yourself and the other people who were there. You have to address that. Until you can address the issue of when the gun was pulled on the young man and you kept resolution, until you can address that. Until you can address your criminal auntie Coral Barnett having signatures and created a fraud document called a constitution. See, until you're ready to deal with the anti-life criminal, because what you said to me, I saw your video about, say I'm a family. That is nepotism. If your family do crimes against Maroon Town, you're supposed to address that. Crimes against Maroon Town. Nobody come feel like you have any authority. You're representing the public out there. If any Maroon do anything, I'm in business. You don't do any business, You have no business for the last 2 years. You have never worked for people, and then you come and living off the Maroons' money. Keep telling people that your family is sending money to maintain you, so you're not living off Maroon money. We have no evidence of that. That's hearsay. Show us the receipts and say, see the money that keeps sending to me every month here. Address those issues. Address those issues. Don't try to nuff up yourself in big people business. So what you use in Maroon people, don't let this brethren try use butter, because it look like if I don't shit, Richard Curry don't get to eat. Because All you do, nobody don't want to hear from you or see you, you know. Nobody in the established world. Buzzer asked certain questions, you couldn't answer it, and you couldn't answer it. He said, man, come kick off Dennis Foster door. Bear in mind that since then, the man them that you said come kick off the door stop talk to you because they have found you to be fake and a failure. So we would advise you to address your criminal auntie, address the criminal activity, because it was a crime for her to have frauded signatures and crafted a document, pushing it on Maroon like it's legit. That was a crime. That's uttering of false documents. Address Coral Barnett and that. Address Kenrick and the man said it pulled the gun pan them in a compound town. Address that. My God. Better yet, you need to address and discuss with the Maroon people and explain to them how 10,000 people come in a compound town for 6th of January. Now 10,000 people at $1,000 a person. Supposed to be $10 million. So when you're lying, well, I shouldn't say you're lying. When you're telling Maroon that is $1.6 million make, $1.6 million would mean that it is only 1,600 people that paid to come through the gate. So you either have to address the incompetence of you putting the wrong people at the gate, because that is people robbing Maroons. One, it would mean the people who are at the gate rob the money, or you rob the money, or you and them rob the money. There's no other way it can go. The whole world is observing. Address that. Don't try to fly up in Daniel Basra business. If somebody come asking for that, they're looking for, you tell them where to find me or give them the number. I've sent out enough messages to my new number, you must know it. You're going up and down like you can police Maroon activities. No, Mr. Curry. Address your own criminality of kidnapping Mr. David and you and Mr. Anazanel and others attempting to extort money out of him. You think the FBI forget that? Address the GoFundMe that you put up for water and have not shown anything for it. You have not given the people any account of what happened to that money because it said it was for water. The FBI is still watching that GoFundMe and what is to be done with it. They have not forgotten, because the GoFundMe is an American institution, and if you do anything untoward with that money, or if you try to trick people, as it is becoming apparent that you did, the FBI is on your case. Don't try to think you can use me as a scapegoat. But realize that if I don't shit, you don't eat. Nobody, you're not important to anybody. I'm very important. I've been saving lives over 40 years and presenting the world with knowledge and clarity, even as the your criminality. Alright, my brethren, and to the people of Maroon Town, do not let this young man, this man, 40-year-old man, distract you by trying every time, rather than address the issue. The people them want to know how his $1.6 million make at $1,000 a person. You're telling the people that is 1,600 people paid to come through the gate, when there's over 10,000 people come through the gate over the 3 nights, over the 2 nights. From the night of the 5th, the day of the 6th, and the night of the 6th. You're telling that is only 1,600 people come through a compound town gate. Criminals, address that. Because I am that man that nobody can get into any situation and twist up. And I'm a king. I don't run from anything. I resolve things and bring it to fruit, general satisfaction. So you don't try to come up into my business. You go and fix your own. Address the criminality in your town. Address the young men that have no jobs that you know are chopping. Address that. Address the young girls in the town who are being sexually molested by older men. My God! Address that. And if you can't deal with the things in your town and fix the town, where is the water for the people in the town? Did Mr. Anna Zionel come on Andre Stevens' program and says, yes, we'll be having things in place by October. It's there on the program. We download it and it's been edited. If yes, he said so. Address the lies and criminality directly around you. Because what clearly true, you never run no business, you just work for people. You do not understand that there are all kinds of glitches that happen when you're doing business. Glitch is clear, you get stopped there, so that person never there work. All kinds of things happen. That doesn't make anyone. The amount of Microsoft supposed to send me something from a computer, my new computer. From when Microsoft supposed to send me something from a new computer? And I have to be waiting on it. By the time I get it, I didn't think I'm going to try to tell Microsoft that they was trying to rob me. No. It's people, human beings you are dealing with, and issues will come up. Address the criminality in your town. Do not think you can follow up Daniel-Buzz and try to use me to distract the people from the fact set. You tell them says $1.6 million next 6th of January. When I over 10,000 for the town at $1,000 person, it's supposed to be at least 10 million. Address those issues. Address the GoFundMe. Address the GoFundMe where you take for water and what happened to that money. Roy Del Roe came and gave you some funds and gave you $1 million. Address that, or you don't mention that to the people. He gave it to the town, not to you, Richard Curry. Where's the receipts? You have no receipts for any money you collect. Address those issues. You cannot attempt to criminalize Daniel-Buzz. And you're not going to spread no story. The person and I are in communication means you have nothing to do anymore. That you shouldn't do anything other than give the person a number, carry them up to the building, carry them up to the hotel and tell them, say, yo, talk to this man and let somebody give them a number. Nothing more. You're trying to behave. You can't put anybody, go and police the crime that's happening in your town. My God. Address the choppers in your town. The men who go to school and don't have nothing to do, no jobs, and are chopping the line. Address them. Address the men pulling the gun in a compound town and the man. Address the GoFundMe money for a water project that you put up and no water project. Address the money that you collected from that white girl, Jessica, or whatever she did name, and the organization. You can't tell the people what organizations to work with. Name the organization that that white girl. That's what you must do. I bet you, name the organization that that white girl work with. What you talking about? She was managing what?
Wow. Yes. That's a lot of things. Before I go any further, I just want to say that if Richard Curry is listening, I don't want people who know you to call me. I don't want people who is your family call me. They weren't elected to run a maroon office. You, Richard Curry, was elected by our brothers and sisters to run an office that belongs to the maroon. My number to call is 260-209-8730. If you're really running a government and not a kangaroo government, call me Richard. We are not here for fame, and we're not here for bribes or spoils and benefits. We're here to get the truth. Now, I wanted to call some people who were close to him, but I was told that they have other business. Miss Lurleen, if you're listening, you can call, cause you know that I have love for you. And of course, Miss Avis, you're allowed to call also. I am going to speak with Daniel Z. Basra. I am going to speak with Colonel Farron Williams. And if Murdy Road's available, we will bring him on also. But nothing will be left hidden this morning. It's a maroon government, we say. And we need a maroon government of unity. Not you calling me to tear down another maroon, or you calling me to tell me how much you love any individual. We're not dealing with individuals nowadays. We're dealing with the government of the Maroons. I just played a tape a while ago with Daniel, His Excellency Daniel Z. Basra, because I got a call, from concerned brothers and sisters, and it's been said that Richard Curry office has seek the corporation of the Jamaica government to lock up another Maroon, because as you heard what Daniel is saying, it seems as if his business enterprise has some dealing with an individual, and I'm going to get the number for that individual too, and they want to come clean, and a little police charge went up to the residence that Daniel used to reside, because as you know, he was viciously attacked, and he no longer reside in Maroon Town. And to how I'm hearing it, it seems as if Akongpong Town is more divisive than ever. Akongpong Town, where the treaty sign, is more divisive than ever, and this sort of division is only benefiting the corporation of Jamaica. I will say that any Maroon that is assisting the corporation of Jamaica to belittle the Maroons, the original owners of the island, you're committing treason. And you know, treason is punishable. All right, so we want to clear the air. Maroon fighting against Maroon at this crucial time when the corporation of Jamaica is slaughtering our brothers and sisters under the appellation of being a Jamaican subject, because we're not a subject of Jamaica. It's a fraudulent corporation. We hold the 1738 margin line. All right, so if you want to call in, you can call in. I'm about to get some very interested calls here, and hopefully we can engineer, you start work the thing already. Mighty God. Grand rising to each and everyone that is logged on right now. We are keeping it real right here on Freshradiovybz. Love and share and subscribe, although His Excellency will be coming on in a bit. I don't know. Somebody called me last night after 10 telling me that former Colonel Murdero is a bit scared to come on here. I don't know what would scare a historian like Mr. Murdero for not coming on board. This is a historian for the Maroons. He has been colonel, and he is someone that I think have a lot of legacy information when it comes on to our stand as Maroon. Now, we can only that some of the brothers and sisters out there will, take unto themselves the responsibility of, being that bigger person. I don't want any division, but when it reaches a stage where Maroons are more interested to fight amongst themselves, it is not something that we want to get. Now, there's also a situation, because we see where popular should I call him now, political activist Andre Stevens has been occupying the office of the Maroon and doing his own GoFundMe from the Maroon office, and I think it's pertaining to him, not pertaining to the Maroon people. Now we want to know what is really happening with that office. The last time we spoke with the former colonel, Mr. Ferren Williams, it was reiterated that the building needed to be vacated. Now, I think the only reason why we're seeing all of this development now is because there are people who they not being honest. Because truth be told, yesterday someone said to me that Gadites, we just trying to get clout when it comes on to maroon business. I don't think we're trying to get clout when it comes on to maroon business. And for people out there who say that you don't live in a Kongpong town and you don't this, a Kongpong town is a community with some of our maroon brothers and sisters. But this is a global movement we're dealing with, a government that is supposed to represent all maroons, not just maroons in a Kongpong town, but maroons globally. It is so happened where the light is being shined, as you hear Daniel Z. Buzz just said that he's very much concerned about happenings inside of his community and he wants to get answers. Now he has been labeled as a troublemaker. And we all know that when people label you as troublemaker, it is to either get you out or angle your power. I don't see why from Richard has gotten into the office of the Maroon, why Richard is so selective in speaking to media houses. If he can invite Andre Stevens to be in a Kongpong town in the building, I don't see why he can't get in contact with Freshradiovybz. But I think we have His Excellency on the line. Grand Rising Excellency, how are you?
Wonderful is an understatement. I'm basking in the wonderful tropical sun.
Yes. Excellency Daniel Zibadra, I just got a tape that has been circulating via social media. And before I even got that tape, this morning I got a phone call that the Jamaica operation was sending...
Lies.
Those are all lies.
Lies. All lies.
There wasn't an entourage of police at your former residence in a Kongpong town.
Lies. You see, these people who are calling us, this is what is happening. It's based on the statements that I made and having called out Chief Curry. Yeah. They're making knee-jerk reactions out of desperation now in order to try to distract the public from the reality of his failures and to try to bring down and bring attention to. See, nobody sees him, but people listen to me. So he's trying to deflect the attention from him to me. Can say, boy, if I can pick up something and call out Buzz name, then maybe people pay attention and don't pay so much attention to my failures. You understand me? So this is the reality of the situation. There was a client. There was a glitch in my system of community. Now I have the 314 number that was lost, and I have the 804 number that was stolen by the men that into the building that I live. So that person had no contact for me, right? So that person came to Jamaica and decided, no, that person's wife, his partner, is a police. So, him and I drive home at no time did she declare herself the police, but because they know that she is a police, because that maroon police girl that is around Chief Curry knows this girl and knows that she's a police. You understand me?
Yeah.
So what they do now is in order to distract, because I am at the center of their attention, nobody business with them. You understand me? So right away, they're using what they know and say, okay, let's create a little story and try to say, police is looking for Basra. No, the man could not find me. Somebody told me that somebody up there, I got his name. I said, who is that? I got in touch with somebody. We are in touch. We were speaking last night. That's from him come a maroon. Him come and him drive come a maroon town with him wife who is a police to find me, to find out what's going on, because he couldn't get in touch with me on neither of the two phone numbers he had.
Yes.
Because those phones were stolen. I'm no longer using those numbers. And I can understand him coming. Of course, he's going to... me and the man talk. When I heard that, all the Chief Curry need is him come to... Yo, go to the building. I said, tell this man to give this man Daniel number. It's not your business. What is his business is to explain to the world about the kidnapping of Mr. David and the attempt to extort $2 million from Mr. David by himself, Chief Curry, and Anu Zionel. Detail. Address that. You understand? Address the gun being pulled on the young man in a compound town by followers of him. You understand me? And the fact that it was not allowed to run his court because what you say? You say you're dealing with justice, or reparative justice, or whatever. Yeah, you put together some people and kept tribunal. That's okay.
Hold on.
But
hold on, Excellency. I think Audley, what go on Audley Grand Rising? Audley?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Me there, I got this. Me there, man. Me there, man.
Yeah, I have Excellency Daniel Z. Bazra on the line. You can heal him up and Bazra can heal him up.
Yeah, man. Me there, me farm.
Yes.
Yeah, Bazra. That's it.
Yes.
Before we go any further, Excellency, you finishing up about this raid, because hardly I want you for 2 minutes, because we hear that there was, as how the phone call go, was there any police on the premises this morning?
Not at all, my uncle. What happened last night?
Yes.
I was on the road last night. You know, make a phone call when I'm not good for a talk.
Yeah.
When I was there, I see a car drive up with Chief Curry.
Wow.
And a lady second to her car. And next car with a gentleman and a lady night. You understand?
Yes. So Chief Curry actually in the motor vehicle.
So them come on me.
You're trying to get Audley. Audley, your audio is going out. Excellency, Audley was just confirming what you were saying. You know, this line.
He's trying to. He's trying to make it into something.
Yeah, we're music intellect. You understand?
I know.
Yeah, man.
So when Chief him start to say, boy, me no like him all them way. You understand me? So I mean, me no like you. Because me a serious man fight him a building. Me say, watch a man. This gentleman I first in a history ever seen. He must name Mark. When name again Mark. Where gentleman name again?
Mr. Brian.
Mark Brian. Him say introduce himself to him as. Where I never have a conversation with that man. No, I never see him in person. I first in a history I ever see him. So him send some money to Buzzer for cannabis oil. And me receive it. And me receive the money. So me have to pay back the money. Indefinitely him just show me. Me fi sign. Make sure I sign say me response to pay within 7 working days. You understand?
Who
and see a lady inside here with her.
Valentina,
yeah, a lady inside there.
So no police trying to make a situation out of something because the man come to find me.
Yeah.
Or you're going to Audley. You understand what I'm saying? Or you go and listen again. This is another failure of Chief Curry. We need an ID that we can use to collect money because I am not operating as a Jamaican and using none of the Jamaican ID. So Chief Curry and the bunch of jing bang them around them have had 2 years to try and figure out how to put in a proper identification system that meets international standards and requirements. And he cannot do it. That's another sign of his failure. But since this is what he wants, we're going to live for the rest of the time pointing out nothing else but his failures, because this whole issue is even a point of his failure. But me, Daniel Bazza, must have my indigenous ID. Then it's faster they done build by machine and build some make the indigenous ID, so we're not using Jamaican ID. So give me my autonomy. Him, Chief Curry, using a Jamaican driver's license and pay road tax and pay for license plate and all of that. And I fail me in his ignorance. He's not as bright as he was bright. Intelligence is shown by fixing a problem. You can't fix the problem when you claim to you're intelligent. And I create confusion. And trying to use me as a distraction. But not going to stand for it.
So Audley, what is the atmosphere in a Pong town? It seems like is there a fear factor? Because if the colonel I send out several messages for the colonel to call me, but he can find time to drive with the Jamaica Constabulary forces and come to you.
No, he did not drive. Stop saying that. Well, repeating the right. Someone never come in the police, someone come with the wife. She just happens to be a police time, she never come in our police theater. Stop it.
Okay.
That's the con that they're trying to put on people. The man come with the woman.
Last night?
Sure.
Yeah, what took place last night, you know?
Yes.
Is Chief Curry and a secretary, a lady were in his office as a security. You understand? In a Chief Curry vehicle. And the next car have a gentleman with a lady. She is a policewoman. And she never out her motor. She want to force me. They try want to force me to say, yes man, I go response and go sign my response page. And they collect the money from when? Over 2001, 2022, 2021. And I never hear a man call me from the day me do that and me give Buzz Ryan money for the transaction he Buzz on that man. I don't have or know nothing about him. I ever see that man in my life. I never spoke to him yet. I don't have no conversation with him. No time. There's a girl see me about 2 weeks ago and said to me, say, if me know the gentleman. I said, no, I never know. He said, yes, for one man call him saying Mark Bryan and like me collect some money. Him when him send to Buzzer and me fi pay back money. And them deliberately want me to go force me, you know, like me to go sign my response within 7 working days and me to start to
I said to me once, this is the man number. Since the man called them, they're trying to use it to make an issue. Like the man called and said looking for Buzzer have some money for him and it was sent this way. All it is pass on the number and the information of the man to Audley. So Audley can pass it on to me and let it be addressed.
Exactly.
You're trying to use it. So you keep it like a secret and invite the man up because the security girl had come up with Chief Curry. That is it. She's a former police. Or she's a police soldier going to her house or something like some indictment. She worked with the Jamaica Corporation before. So she's in the police link. So she don't know the girl. So they're trying to use it to cook up something. So rather than do the proper thing and say, look here, Daniel, this person contact you. And then I would have simply said to the man, you know, so I lose my phone number why I couldn't get to me. Me get a link back to you. Simple as that.
Yeah. When them beside me last night, I trying to get Buzzer.
Yes.
To let them really talk to Buzzer, but eventually the phone rang out without no answer. You understand?
Yes.
So them try to make me know that me have to go sign, say me I go pay within 7 working days. Tell me no God that.
Wow.
Like they want to force me to go meet the colonel, go talk with the colonel. Like they want me get intimidated or coward and say yes and start doing me enough to do and talk with me enough to talk. Like go and get me coward. And that gentleman, yes.
He's talking enough of him that him enough of him. If the man tries to find somebody, put him on to that person.
That gentleman come last night.
Yes.
The gentleman that come last night. Lady which come in that Chief Curry car. The next car, that lady is a police lady. That man is his husband or boyfriend, whatever. So she a go and like me no know.
So when you hear them say police, the lady never come and tell nobody say she a police. I just show them no say she
no, the lady like her don't say I'm a police. Yes, the lady don't introduce himself as a police, but me know I'm myself as a police. I mean know her right name, but his surname and next name. But the gentleman is his husband. You understand?
Yes.
She don't introduce her. All of them said to me, if why me not going to jail tonight? If the police said come there, I said lock me for what? Lock me for what?
So while the present colonel there, all of these sentiments was being threatened that you to be locked up and who made these assertions?
The gentleman will come. They say the reason why I not go to jail. Me say go to jail for what? Me know after me know him, me don't know him. I don't have spoke to him yet.
Listen, don't make hear the trick now, Gadite. Gadite.
Yeah.
If it was that kind of an issue, you would have come with the police.
Of course.
Since the woman is a police, if it was that kind of issue, and since the lady that is the security person for the chief Curry and the administration is also someone who is a police. If it was that kind of issue, you would have come with a police. So if you don't come with a police, it means then that you're just trying to create an issue because they know. So when the person them call and say them a find Basra, they might look for Daniel then. With them this, they might say, hey, what happened? And then them start investigate. And then they don't try to say, but then we can use this to try and make Basra look bad to distract from the girl then. You understand me? Mm-hmm. So them cook up something and then say to the girl now, say, yeah man, come man, we're gonna look for you man, and start talk all kind of things. So when the girl might come with a kind of mindset based on what they said to her. You understand me? This is the level of conspiracy thinking. That's why somebody would call you this morning, So 2 people would call you from a compound town, 2 big women, and I'm gonna tell you, say police full up a compound town this morning. These are the kind of liars that you're dealing with. You're sensationalists, just like our chief Curry come out sensationalist. You come with this pure sensationalism them come with, nothing substantial.
Yes, Audley.
Gadite, nothing like that. No police no come there from the last night. From me alone there the building and further from me talk to a gentleman out on the road and a chief Curry and them. No police no come to ask you no buzzer and me. And all of us from man me I get phone call. All from foreign me I get phone calls. The police come to me last night. And I don't see a police in a uniform or already gentleman. If police did come in a lock, we shall lock up for. If you go sign paper, you go check Chief Curry and sign paper. Because my understanding the man tell Chief Curry to collect the money and take it. And he can't get around if he can't go to England. And the man saying losing job through buzzer. And me collect. Me collect the money for you because me was at Santa Cruz buzzer, don't have ID. And the first me do things. Yeah, we remiss me at a guess I me buy material and pay workman when things are go on. So and I say me afraid. He say me collect it, me have it. But they can't show me receipt. Show me the receipt them.
Yes.
When they say me collect where man have and he can't but yet he want me go sign say me response feed.
So
yet he want me go sign. How me go sign anything me like that?
I don't understand.
You go sign say me response feed thing.
For several reasons.
Hey, look now.
Yes.
Yes. It is nothing more than a simple social thing between 2 human beings. And the man can't get me on the phone. So you can't get me, you get me. You might can think certain things. That's okay. Me don't mind that. You understand what I say? If me used to get you, and me have something I do and then all of a sudden me can't get you. You understand me?
Yes.
That's okay. Me lose the phone. Chief, based on the actions of Chief Curry sending man and come kick down the door. Alright. No, when the person gets in touch with me and the person said Daniel, them I look for. They just make them talk to Daniel now. Why you're trying to scheme it and invite them up into the town there like you want to come create something out of it. Like Chief Curry can't put Chief Curry to go police how the man get kidnapped when he kidnapped the man. He needs to explain about the GoFundMe when put up for water from 2 years now and he can't show nothing done. $6 million collect when 10,000 people there marooned on 6th of January. So
let us hope that we can get the other side, because as I said, I did reach out to the other 2 individuals who give me that name, that information this morning. They said that they have other business doing, and yes.
Listen, I reach out to Oyada. It's the foolishness.
Yes, sir.
How is it their business to be calling you? You don't understand. It is an attempt, based on the things I'm saying on Chief Curry and pointing out his failures. It's an attempt at a smear campaign. Coincidentally, this person trying to find me, so they just serendipitously decide that they may use this as an issue. How it reach? How if somebody's if anyone owes anybody money, and the person coming to Moontown looking for that person that owe them money, how it become a business that you need to go tell people are fine and I try and make it look like something big and I tell a lie about police are coming. You're trying to sensationalize something to distract the people from the failures of Chief Curry. So our mission now is it's almost 2 years since Chief Curry won the election. He told the people, we have it on tape, in 2 years, them not do nothing. We're going to feed them to get rid of him. So we're going to go through his own Instagram and look at every announcement he made at what he's going to do and show you how much of them he never do, which is almost all of them. He does nothing. So we're going to focus on his failure. His 2 years is up, so it's our time now. Since he decided to take, all he has done is open a serious look at him. We are going to go Facebook and go on social media. We're going to put all that information together at the best of our ability, systematically. Look at his Instagram and says, Chief Curry posted this and this day, saying that the Ministry of so-and-so, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, had accessed $50 million over 10 years, really. What has become of that? We're going to show and go and show say all the things he did was sensationalism. So he put out one thing, and when it time comes, he put out the next thing. We're going to show, we're going to see in the two, we're going to make a proper assessment of his 2 years, publicly, in detail. Since that's what he wants, if I don't shit, Curry doesn't eat. So I'm going to shit on him, since he needs for now.
Wow. Well, hardly, there's so much things that is being unfolding right now. Hardly when last you walk past the building, because I see where the building is being used by Andre to the live feed now. I don't understand. Is the building for the Maroon or for the Jamaican government?
Which building?
The one that Colonel Curry is occupying as an office. I hear that Andre.
Well, I don't really.
I hear that Andre is sleeping on the couch up there now.
Well, I don't have no knowledge of that. I know what's Andre here, but I don't know. I'm not there in sleep.
I hear that Andre walked down through the town with his clothes over his shoulder to be in somewhere and then go back up by the building to do his show. Andre, if you're hearing us, call us, because you know we're going to touch on those topics later.
Yeah, I don't know of that. I mean, I see him. I glimpse one night when they keep it out our road.
So it's only Richard.
There's a man where we work at the time.
So it's only Richard Curry alone he talks with. He doesn't talk with the community to get their points. I don't think so.
Well, I don't know enough. I don't really go amongst the brethren. When I see him, I far. I want away, man. Really miss people.
See, but if you're not, you don't like seafood, you know. I say that you don't like seafood, hardly. You don't go for that delicacy.
You must be right after, but you know, Mr. PP, I stay as far, I see my using camera. Me just stay as far as I don't want to pick up in the camera, you understand?
Yes, I.
Yeah. Yes, when I do interview when I see him, come like like it's a mongoose around at a dog, me just disappear for I don't want to mix the camera.
Mighty God.
Yeah, so me not really type of man to sit down and even chat or tell him hello or what to do.
Yeah, but
let me try describe him.
Only as a member of the community in Akongpong Town, do you have any fear or concern? Because last night that run-up was a bit intimidating. Do you have any fear? Do you want to say anything to the colonel for him to know that this not gonna work? Will work?
Well, it's not gonna work for me enough. I mean, not gonna make nobody scared me, you know, understand?
Yes, sir.
That a place, me is a caretaker for it. So if a man will try a thing like that, can intimidate me or scare me, me not scared.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So not try to scare me or intimidate me. And want me bone me to go and sign and do a sitting. Sign what? But me go sign some response the money where me get the money and deliver to get it. I don't know what goes after.
And then so you listen here, there's the thoughts that the chief, that's what the chief, Richard Curry get the position not for govern Maroons, you know, but for to represent Maroons out there, you know. But since he's incapable on any level of getting anything functionally accomplished out there in the world with the diplomatic corps, with international governments, with the African Union, with other Africa, he's incapable. So he has internalized it and made it job to try to govern Maroon. His first move was not an official meeting with the Governor General. His first move was to lock off a Maroon dance.
Yes.
That means he's not have nothing for the world, he's not ready for the world. So him using the 600 vote for try to dominate Maroons.
I come from Maroons, not the global one, because he's not interacting with us.
That's all him trying to use the 600 vote to do. And right now, if you run an election, it might be, maybe don't think him could get 100. You understand me? Because here's the funny thing. The 5 young men that him sent to kick off Dennis Foster do. You know, so none of those 5 young men dealing with him now.
Why? Why they're not dealing with him?
Within the time that they've done that, they have seen that listen, money was sent over by Maroons overseas for him to fix up the field. 600 of the field was a mess. Right now, it's still a mess.
The football field is
still. We can't explain what happened to the GoFundMe for the water project and the monies that were sent to that GoFundMe. Where you don't mention it, you don't give no account of it. What happened to it? What happened to the lawyer suit, the so-called lawsuit that you filed on behalf of Maroon with your name on it? Yeah. What happened to that? And the money collected from that GoFundMe, you don't give no account of it. But I am doing my business. There are glitches in all kinds of business. Yeah. I am clearly working hard doing something over the years. As Arlie said, one probably brings to send me thanks and say, yeah, I'm glad to get my eye. Thank you. So if there's a 1 or 2 glitch, it is because there's glitches. That's how business go. If you deliver some good the hardware, if you deliver some goods that brought down, so me can go and pay feet and put me 2-3 days before me get my goods and it throw off my work inside. That's just glitches. That is not your job. That's a fiend job to try police that.
So this individual that came up there, have he spoken to you since last night?
I spoke to the person last night at length. Listen now.
Yes.
We got in touch. I had to call somebody overseas and then find it because I didn't have his number.
Yes.
Because like I said, the phone was stolen and all that information was lost. And we spoke. I was supposed to have a further conversation later on today. That's just what it is. And that's all that they should have done from day one. From day one. But in order to try to distract, no, Mr. Curry is going to have a thorough assessment of his 2 years. Public assessment of his 2 years. You're not going to fool. Including, I know Richard Curry can't explain to people, the ganja program and the millions of dollars. Listen to the man thief Maroon. Richard Curry, you rob Maroon for your own personal benefit. Kenrick was sent by the United Nations to Morocco and he was sent by the United Nations to Colombia to look at their indigenous cannabis farms. The money was sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that was to set up lab in a Maroon town, put road need, water, anything. They're going to fund the license. I want to set so that we can get a full-scale observation of how the ganja, the uncontrolled ganja work outside of the government, how the indigenous ganja program would go, and what is the costing and what is the benefits. That was what we were given a chance to set an industry. You see this boy come the other night and I bring Jacana up in our town when he had that in his hand, including the funding. They funded and sent Kenrick to Colombia and to Morocco. When Kenrick come back and the cash for free up now from Ministry of Foreign Affairs and go to the account of the SDC group that went up. Richard Curry called me and said, boy, I did in the government, take the program. Don't hear the liar that go tell me, Richard Curry is a lying thief. Richard liar thief in Curry tried to tell me, Daniel Bajwa, with my intelligence, that the only reason why he had to sign it over is because when it come to the federal land to be used, is the chief after sign. Is fair. I said no, because we had already had a discussion with the UN, and the UN says what? Those people, once 10 people in the community sign, you don't need no chief to sign. And then call me and tell me, say, boy, them take the program, say, I said, well, I said, when Richard, we have to go fight it. He's like, boy, I can't bother, I just have to look a license for myself. And then he gets a CLA license. and takes that license up into a compound town on land after a compound sovereign. Him take a CLA license, that boy sell out to sovereign, take a chum change in him pocket and him never met nothing out tight. That's a waste, man.
So the fact that this is why I don't know why Richard would be intimidated before trying to guide him in the right way, because I think that Richard...
No, because he knows that I know that he robbed the Maroons. He knows that if no one else knows, that he's outright, unlikely robbed Maroon. The program, look now, international journalists call the man from overseas and ask and says, we'd like to interview you about the UN ganja program and what happened. You know what he says to the journalist? Oh, it wasn't a UN program, you know, it was a CLA program. So I did CLA send Kenrick go Morocco and Colombia. Liard Richard, thiefing Richard Curry, rob Maroons of millions. Cause listen how the millions going on. Listen. If you were to how the program end up in a timeless herbal care and listen, if you were to grow 500 pounds of weed.
Grand Rising, Mr. Williams. Grand Rising, how you doing? Colonel.
Hello.
How you doing? You busy?
Sure.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you busy?
Hello.
Yes, are you busy? The phone there.
Hello.
Yeah, the phone there give a whole heap of problem. I have to send a phone coming up. I have to call one of them people to say you get a phone. Because that phone now pick up properly or what?
All right.
Grand Rising.
I'm hearing you.
Grand Rising. I have Daniel Z. Buzzer on the line this morning with me, and I wanted to just talk with you for a bit. I can get a couple of minutes of your time.
Will I be on here now?
Yeah, my program starts and we're here until 2 o'clock. Can I get a minute of your time?
Go ahead.
Yeah, the people them want to hear you. Daniel, say good morning to the former colonel now, please. And the colonel can know say it about.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, man. Continue, my brother.
Yes. Daniel is a situation where he sent out a tape this morning, and I think that as a former colonel, there's certain protocol where we have to follow. Since I spoke to you the last time, what has been the development with your attachment? People are saying that you can go to a compound town and you haven't been there since the 6th of January. Any truth to that?
Well, yes, threat was made to me. However, one of the person who will hide from my own shadow. My reason for not going there is that I'm quite busy looking about some other things. I will not allow anybody to stop me from going to a compound. That's where I was born and persons who are not born and go there actually running out. For instance, I was told that Andre Stevens is sitting in my building having interviews.
What?
I can assure you that I will be going to take back my building from Richard Curry and his little Nicompose.
When you said the last time that you gave him at least 2 weeks to vacate the building. Has he responded to that request?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No. I will not be making any giving him any date when I will be coming to take back my building.
Yes.
You see, that would be confrontational thing, and it might be illegal guns against legal guns. I am not the type to really push war. Notwithstanding, if war is put to me, I'm not the type of person to back down. I've never and will not back down. And will stand by and allow Richard Curry to capture my building and have it for no longer time than, well, you know what? I will not allow him to occupy my building for no and due time.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, talk to me.
He is also, if one notice,
Yes.
Richard Curry is only going around trying to capture land and building. For instance, this other building that, these people from America, Jacob, we call them, white, they came, they built on land we given to them by other persons in the community. And a school, to be frank with you, if it wasn't for the COVID, heart program would be operating from that building. It usually operate and would be operated. However, the COVID came in because we have, my administration have actually open dialogue with person from the Heart Trust and the government, and it was actually a month before the COVID came in. They were supposed to open it and start. Not only but also persons from a compound who would be going to America and a program. These same persons were actually going to invite 20 persons from a compound and give them employment. We were supposed to go to the United States Embassy with these persons, but as I said before, the COVID came in before, and it was put on hold. That is it. So far.
Before you go any further, Andre Stevenson was not given permission by you to be in your building. That's what you're saying?
No, sir. Richard Curry was not either. And Richard actually lick off the lock, take out my things. What he want, he takes. What he doesn't, he burn. I can send you a photograph of it being burned in the building. Look at the building. And Richard Curry no, under the pretext that the building was built by money belonging to the Maroon. Now I would want Richard Curry to show when, where and how did any Maroon come by that money. Not only that, if it was Maroon money,
yes,
why then did he not ask for the key? Why was it he had to go and to burn up and destroy things in there?
And I understand that these things are some very precious things that was sent all the way from the continent of Africa as a friendship gesture.
That is very much so. In fact, there was an article which was published when a couple of us went to Africa, and if you notice, flight is now organized to travel from Ghana to Nigeria to Jamaica. We have dialogue with the Ashanti from way back 2016.
So
that is what caused it. So we have actually opened the dialogue for flight to travel to Jamaica from the motherland. And in fact, we had talked about having an airstrip in a compound. Also the African Union headquarters. It was supposed to be built in a kampong, but I tell you, you have some people who say they have a kampong interest at heart, but only to stifle and hold down a kampong because they are the one who actually caused it not to go forward further.
My God. This is not how we want the unity. I've reached out to Richard Curry, and every day I call his name for him to come and represent himself, but the office that he's running. But you know, I think, as I said before, Richard is playing a cloak and dagger thing, and with Maroon business you can't play cloak and dagger. You have to come straight and narrow.
What I would want,
yes,
for Richard and his a little supporter, I will name the two persons who's actually. What I would want them to, you know, come out and tell you what Richard has done for the community to make the lives for the people in the community better off. He has been there 2 years now. A couple days short,
yes.
2 years.
Yes.
Let them tell what he has done, not what I can name upward of 30 things I have done to uplift the community. Let him name one thing. When I was elected, within 3 months, I have a building which was abandoned.
Yes.
Refurbished and furnished with things for the children, computer and things like that.
Within 3 months.
Richard.
Within 3 months. And you said that almost 2 years coming now, there is nothing to show from the administration of Richard Curry.
Well, you see, I don't see it. I don't. Well, let him show it.
Yes.
Let him come out and do it. Separate and apart from taking the government to court for land that he wants to.
That is his personal thing. That is his name. The town not represented at all. That's his thing. It's a case where the land goes to Richard Curry, not that it goes to the town.
No, this is what I am saying, Bozra. You're right and Chuck. I am saying that separate and apart. Let him state what he has to benefit the town, separate and apart from himself. Because number one, I heard Bozra speaking about, you know, phones and things like that, which was the issue. Let Richard say what happened to these phones. What happened to the 100 gallon of paint that was given to him? What happened to the money which was given to him to refurbish the clinic, health center, whatever he wants to name it? Let him state what happened to those money that he had collected from First Nation and things like that. What happened to it? I wouldn't even go to the GoFund. I wouldn't even mention the GoFundMe.
How many GoFund? Because hold on, before you go there, because I did see Andre Stevenson last night with a GoFundMe, and I don't think it's a GoFundMe for a Kongpong people. I think
get the GoFundMe. The man said First Nations give money for fix up the clinic.
Yes.
But now, what about that? Forget the GoFundMe. That's already there. What about the money, as Mr. Ferret, as the farmer turn and said? That money, what happened to that? How come the clinic not start fixed up? Hey.
Not only the First Nation people, you have other persons who came on television and show where they are giving money to Richard to fix the clinic.
There's no receipt, as we say. No receipt. Show who gave how much money. So if you're doing proper business, every time somebody give you money, you're supposed to just pop out a receipt and say, here. You understand? There's no receipt to show who give money. So then where does that go? I don't tell nobody about that. Hey.
Aye. Wow. As what I'm hearing from I think this is Lurleen, she said that no one cares about him, and that is Colonel Furran and what he have to say. Nobody in a Kongpong town cares, and I'm like, wow, how divisive can we get?
Listen, you don't have to pay. Listen, stop paying attention. Isn't these the same people that call it and spread a lie?
Yeah.
Stop paying attention to these people and interjecting their foolishness into intelligent conversation.
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
I'm getting
if
text.
If Mr. Ferran goes and stand up in Maroon Town, he might hold for house, he might have to stop. You know how long you take him for reach and brother, yeah, he might have to stop and heal a person, Stop that. But I mean no one respect him. Because she, as a Curryite, probably, because here's the problem again, you know. The Currys and the people that they push have been involved in 5 Colonel's administration and not going on for the town yet. No major progress to make. Anytime something with them no lie, them block it and them tell people, say, don't work with that. The community was offered millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia. And if they might give a loan, them don't even take interest. Most of them say, like, give me some money.
Yeah.
And it's the same people, the same Currys, them and the comes of overseas Maroons. So them live in America and have visa and can't do without them American residency because them have to try to be smarty. They says, no, we don't want to associate. We can't take that money because we don't want nobody think we're associated with terrorists. Yet still, are the same Currys them and the same comes of overseas Maroons. This criminal called Anu Zion L, whose business partner has been federally sentenced for PP, for much $1 million in PPP loan. The same Anu Zion L, who tried to con the state of Texas, claiming that it is the descendant of a man, in order to try and claim some land after I'm done born in Jamaica and can't show no light. That's a criminal that they sent to be right beside Richard Curry and Zion L. And the connection was made. I asked Mr. Curry, I said, how you mean Anu Zion L that him right up beside you and put him above every other Marooner? How? Because he was introduced by the Council of Overseas Maroons at Alma and Coral Barnett and the rest of that clan.
Hold on, the Colonel wanted to say something. Mr. Williams, you were saying?
What I would want to ask Lurleen,
yes,
how far from a company she living? Lurleen was living at Whitehall, which is roughly about 3 miles from a campo or more. Lurleen only attends school in a campo. Lurleen after leaving school, she wasn't living at Whitehall where she's from. Then she leave and go to Canada. And Lurleen know nothing about a campo. The time where Lurleen now is Richard Curry came in. Lurleen, no, in fact Lurleen have a brother where she don't even talk to. Judge Powell. So let Lurleen move herself from here. I won't, go down that road with her.
No. But
what about the man that was killed last 6th of January? What about the compensation? What about the legal process? Who is to be charged for killing that man? Somebody died in a 6th of January. Nobody remembers that man. These are issues that must be dealt with. Richard Curry get the chief, not for, get the position, not for govern Maroon, but for the interface with the world on behalf of Maroon. He has been unable to do that. He has not yet. Show us what you do. Like I said, this is the new mission now. We're going to go through his Instagram page and everything he ever published and show say, yo, he has not got nothing to do. Him come out with ID and ID can't use. Anybody can go collect the user ID, just send them $100 and say, go keep the money. Just let me see if the ID can use to pick up the money.
Mr. Williams, what do you know about this overseas connection, Coral Bonnet? Has she worked with your administration while you were in office?
Yes, she gave advice, but when you say work, she gave some advice.
She was an advisory to your government in the capacity where you take her advice she's what?
Just an old maroon.
What happened is that we have mutual understanding, and sometimes she would call and say, well, Colonel, I understand so and so is happening, because first time, if breeze blow a woman dress, it made line in her domain.
Yes.
But since her cousin take over, she's so quiet. She is as quiet as a lamb. Innocent. She, you see, when things used to happen, and when Richard would be doing this and doing that, and I would call her, I would say, listen, when I was there, you always called me and said this, that, and the other. This is what is happening. Oh, I can't get Richard. Richard is always saying that he is traveling to Chinel. It look like a Chinel that man used to live, as far as she concerned.
No, because Ferran was the chief. Ferran, you were chief when them come and try to push this constitution that was done by the Council of Over Maroons and Carol Barnett. Remember that too? Ferran was the colonel, and they tried to force this thing on him and ask him to acknowledge it. Something that they had started from petty time, and then them come to Ferran as chief. I remember that, and they insisted send Norma Rowe Edwards, who is also Coral Barnett's friend and a party to the Council of Overseas. Send her come to a compound town and make sure go run against Ferran, because they were just seeking power. And now that they have a Richard Curry in place, all they see is that they're in power. They don't care about the community. They don't care. Millions was going to be given to us by the Saudi Arabians. And them tell us, no, we don't want to be associated with the terrorists. But then you send Anu Zion El come with the same so-called Islamic religion. We can't do nothing but collecting feed for themselves. Criminals.
Yeah, Colonel, you were going to say something, but there's a lot of energy in the room. We are getting people from St. and also the other Caribbean islands that are very much waiting on the Maroons to get their office in order, because as I said before, this is not a community government, this is a global government. People are expecting us to have some form of working progress to lead ahead. But now that we are seeing where 2 years in the making, we see where Richard is operating an office where it is like a gang, and calling Richard some sensibility to this, so we can operate as civilized people as we are. Colonel, you just said a while ago that the vacation of the building is paramount right now because you need your property to do your own business.
That is very much so, sir. That is very much so. Unlike Richard, who
silent your phone, Excellency. Silent your phone, Excellency. Please put it on mute until you're talking. Yes. Daniel, carry on. Yes, Colonel.
You see, one should remember that Richard was the same person who says that he called in Mocha to come and investigate. Right? I'm still waiting. But I would add to Richard and ask also that they come and investigate expeditiously. that they come and investigate the finances of a compound from as far back as they want to. As far back as they want to. As far as back as they want to. I would want the government to come and investigate.
There's no notification. When Richard, it's like all this Ferner talk, when Ferner here, Ferner talk about the First Nations thing.
Yes.
Him do them thing then private. Richard Curry is the first Maroon colonel to be swearing in a private room. Every other Maroon chief, colonel, take them swearing in publicly. It's a public event. Him do it privately and then post it on Instagram. You understand me? So it's a said when the First Nations people come, him take it like it's a private thing and carry them down hard, and that's where them talk and any money exchange, and the people that know.
There is not a press center.
So half of the town don't know. What Ferran Williams as a former colonel would know. I wouldn't know. So if Ferran never talk about this money from the First Nations to fix up the health center, I wouldn't know. As much as I'm informed, I would not know. Because he did that in private. Ferran probably only would have gotten wind of it and in the position to know because of his former position as a farmer leader, and certain access channels are there open to him. The town, but Ferran just say a whole lot of people don't know about that. If me don't know, it means I'm very informed. How much Maroon you think they know about that?
Not a lot of Maroon. I think the distraction is evidence because as I said before, you know, we don't have anything against the man himself, Richard, but how he is running the office is a favoritism now. Our people need answers, and we've been asking for answers for the last couple of months, and we can't.
His cousin Coral Barnett.
Yes.
His cousin Coral Barnett attempted to force Ferran to respond to the tenets of a constitution that she put together and foisted on the Maroons. As the Council of Overseas Maroon. That constitution says that the Council of Overseas Maroons is solely in charge of any international business and negotiations for Maroons. What you want, why you would want to stay American and all Maroon business once it come from, that means you want anything coming in town to come through you. Robbie did that look something. And then when I did a forensic analysis of the document, I found the document to contain fraudulent insertions of signatures, meaning signatures were lifted and copied and pasted on pages to the point where four people, they all have different handwritings, but the date, the handwriting that signed the date is exactly the same. That date was lifted and placed there in order to put them in a particular position. Coral Barnett is criminally liable for attempting to heist a fraud on the Maroons. Richard Curry know it. I know what he said to me. He said, boy, I see the video where you're doing the thing because I tell you detail in that fraud. You know what he says? Boy, you know, I'm a family. That means he's a nepotistic individual. He would not stand for justice. It's all about them and them family.
This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, and for my international listeners on our radio station, we are talking with former Colonel Ferran Williams alongside His Excellency Daniel Z. Basra, two prominent armed brothers within the liberation of the Maroons, you know what I mean, as far as informing them, keeping them of the power, therefore some form of accountability from the Curry administration. And I think 2 years we should have some form of what has been done and what has not been done. We've been trying to reach to Richard Curry, but it's of no avail. He does not respond to our texts or call or anything. There's only mouthpiece coming from other members in the community, but we do not want the third and fourth party, brothers and sisters. This is an office that's supposed to benefit the people, as we say, and we're urging Richard to do the right thing, man. Is Richard one of the youngest colonel to ever occupy the office, Mr. Ferran?
He's the youngest. He is the youngest.
So he should be up to par with communicative skills as far as email, text, and phone call. He is supposed to be the next generation to take over. And what we're getting at is that if he cannot communicate with his very own, Mr. Williams is not a stranger. Daniel is not a stranger. The police cannot solve this. The police cannot solve the Maroon standoff right now as far as we not communicating. And I would urge Richard to take up the phone and call us, man. Call us and give your accountability as to what's going on. Mr. Ferran is very concerned about the building that you occupied, which he said that he don't know how you're entertaining guests at that building when the property the property is registered to you, Mr. Ferran Williams, right?
It's registered. It's built by Ferran. It was built on by Ferran and Ferran's land with no money that Maroon can show belong to them. Where the money come from, that's another issue. But it's cannot be shown to be Maroon money. And I thoroughly investigated that and found that I couldn't put. If it was so, if I could have found $1 of Maroon money, Ferran knows if me to find $1 in a Maroon money in it, and could have proved say Maroon money. Me that if they say yo the building of the town, you know that the door.
Yes, I know that you have done
so. So here what people now again, I'm not going to play hypocrite. When Ferran was in office and I found wrongs, I said it. When me not find him wrong, you can't get me. I don't have nothing personal for that. No. And this is what they do. They're taking everything personal. So when the person when them like wrong, them like the person, so them can't say the person wrong. These are the people who pick me go come bite off them ears at him hanging.
This is not how we want our Maroon in Canada to feel, because I have several Maroons in Canada right now who, as I said, we are holding on to every word, and not just to feel good, but we want to see the progress. There is nothing that we as Maroon cannot solve. Find a channel where we... Yes, I
would urge the people to get over their fantasy. Don't listen now. The brain is a problem-solving instrument. Intelligence is defined by your ability to resolve problems. Now look at the problems that face Maroon Town. I asked Richard Curry to give you the pathway to the resolution of any one of those problems. Just name any problem a Maroon face and say, what's the pathway? Or what's the steps you would take to fix that? And then you know there's nothing there. I dare him to answer any what's up getting the town water. But you put up a GoFundMe and I collect people money. And you haven't done anything in the 2 years since the GoFundMe has been up. Ask him any of the problems, the education problem, name the pathway, take the steps you would take to resolve these problems, and he cannot provide any. The brain is a problem-solving mechanism.
Colonel Williams, what are some of the guidelines we can use to resolve this? If he's not willing to come to the people and have dialogue, is there so he can reclaim the office, or would you be interested in calling for re-election of Colonel or anything like that? Is that in the pipeline?
Right. Let me state it clearly.
Yes.
I would not want to sit in the chair of Colonel again. Wow. I have no intention. Of doing so. It cost me a lot instead of being a colonel. Separate and apart from, being recognized worldwide. Nothing. I have only get disrespect from a few, especially one or two of those persons who actually call your program on a daily basis. And just disrespect from them. But what I would want for you and the other listeners to understand that, they always say empty barrel make the most nice. Richard have a small percentage of person in the community now. And in fact, I won't, say, well, one of the things that I am certain that will break the camel back is these persons who Richard want to take a building from. They build like me a building and Richard wanted to capture it. The people came out and said, no, you cannot. Yet he still have that ambition. As such, persons are now saying that they will not return to a compound. These are persons who always help the children pay their school fees, pay lunch money, as also taxi fare and so on. For them, they're going to pull out, help the church.
These people have a program in place here where they pay the tax fare to go and they're financing the children. Guys, the people came and built the building on some maroon land.
Yeah.
And they have been using it. And they have been helping the town. Them run a computer center, them put up a library, all kinds of things in the town. And now he wants to, there's no negotiation, it's a resolution is the trait of things. He's not, no. He just wants. He's not here to, he has not shown not to him contribute. But he wants authority over everything. It's a curry thing.
It's not a maroon thing. Mr. Ferron Williams, have you spoken with the likes of Murdy Rowe? Because I spoke to Mr. Rowe a couple days ago, but someone called me last night, said that the former colonel fears for his life and he doesn't want to speak publicly. Have you spoken to him?
Yes, and that is a fact.
Wow.
I'll tell you something, sir. You can, maybe Buzzer or so on would have that tape where Meredy was surrounded by some people.
Yes.
After he went on a radio program.
Yes.
After he went on a radio program, he was surrounded by some persons, and the fact of the matter is that, he actually begged for a clear passage.
Yeah,
and as such,
remember that tape.
Serious human rights violations.
Listen.
Richard Curry and his people are violating the Maroons' human rights and attempting to curtail their freedom of speech and their right to their own conscience. They're trying to tell you what you must feel and think and try to force you. Remember, that special operations, the head of special operations and another officer, the head of special operations in Kingston, got wind that there were plans to harm Daniel Bozra and came to Maroon Town in the middle of the night to do what is called a wellness check, to make sure that them system is physical and tell me, say, listen, we is who we is as Jamaican police. And we get this report. When them come, and days later, Richard Curry said people come hit down the door. You need to know who you're dealing with. These are criminals in intent and mind. They have no royalty. There was no plan. It was just about power. No plan for growth and development. Just for them to have power.
This is serious, as you hear. We're talking today, and we're going to continue this until we find common ground. I know that Daniel is saying that we're beating a dead horse, but I still believe that Richard will do the right. Yes.
No common ground for Fidel Castro to find Batistuta.
There was no common ground between Batistuta and Fidel Castro.
There is none. Fidel had to get rid of this man that had Cubans living like crap.
You heard a
while. No time the entire country. No time the entire country educated, first world development, the best doctors in the world. This is so. Right then, go and research the history. Me study at Cuba, so I say, Richard Curry is my Batistuta. But come as a maroon Fidel Castro. We have to get rid of that. There's no common ground.
So Mr. William, just
man said 2 years, and if him not do nothing, we'll forget rid of him.
Yeah.
How do we have him saying that? It's coming to 2 years and he has done nothing.
Nothing.
He must be gotten rid of.
Wow. Mr. Williams, do you think that Richard will do the right thing and vacate your building? as soon as possible, or you'll have to use force?
You know, good eye.
Yes.
Let us fight about the building for the time being.
For the time being.
For the time being, because you see, I have relatives who lives have been threatened until that person, I can tell you, a policeman who is not afraid, who wasn't, I should say, wasn't afraid until just now. He sent me a text and said, well, listen, I'm afraid of my life because so and so and so on. Trust me, I can send anybody the text.
This is a policeman, Maroon, who live in the town.
Yes, Maroon police born and grow there. And he won't be going back there until, because, you know, he understands that the lives of Pharaoh and
is in
are
danger.
threatened.
Wow. This is
That I?
Yeah.
You have married the number, right?
I tried to call Murdy, you know, but he's not picking up. He's not picking up.
Have you tried today?
I have tried earlier this morning. I'm trying right now. And I would encourage anyone that is having ill feelings against Mr. Murdy Roto. This is from that man. If you don't respect our elders, this is a former colonel. You know, it's atrocious. What's happening? I try calling him. He's not picking up. He's not picking up. I would encourage people to go and look. Have you seen him of late? Have you spoken to him yesterday?
Yes, I did.
And what was his feeling? What was it like?
You see, I was we did not
Discuss
have a discussion about him talking to you.
Yes.
So I won't say anything that I am not certain of. I'm not the person to go and speculate. I talk of facts and have documentary evidence most of the time.
Yes.
If not all the time, to go by. And if I don't have documentary evidence, I have the witnesses.
Yes. Yes.
You can go and go.
He's not. He's not.
One thing I can assure you is that we might have bitter confrontation as far as a building concern, which I was told is earmarked for taken over by the colonel. I am not going to call him a thief, as when we run it for colonel, the office of colonel, the office of chief. And like my brothers and sisters over in the east, we usually use the word colonel, not as a chief.
You know, I can hear the concerns in your voice, you know, as far as the direction. I spoke with Opal yesterday, and she set the record straight as to the achievements that you have put forward and what the next generation is entitled to. It's amazing that we're at a crossroad right now where the next generation future is in danger, and things are popping up. As Daniel said, he will become a hawk for the Curry administration, seeing that they are
there's no administration.
Sorry. Talk about that. Yes. Talk. Go ahead, Colonel.
Good eye.
Yes.
Good eye. You remember this Herod, King Herod?
Yes. Yes.
when you see the wise men went to visit, and then the King Herod said they must bring him news.
Yes.
Because Richard Auction remind me of Herod, where because he is educated, he does not wish for our brothers and sisters, the younger one in a kampong now. Because if you're going to take away those privilege where these people would send the children to school, transport them, pay school fee and everything. Because you see, Kadai Akampong is a poor farming community, and you have a lot of children who without these grants won't be able to go to high school again. I personally don't have like grandson children or whatever, but as far as I am concerned, all Maroons are my blood, my people. I kill for them. For instance, I get a 30-seater bus so that it could carry the children to and from school. Because sometimes I hate sometimes when I go to a kampong, coming back down in the morning, and I have to carry sometimes upward 8 in my little car, 8 children, because no taxi available, and we have a 30-seater bus sitting there idle. The children, they are not afraid, because sometimes the parents, make sacrifices and push out, so they are not afraid to pay. So if Richard was thinking, or if he had them at heart, he would have said, well, all right, pay the usual fare and carry them more than they're there and can't go to school if you turn back sometime. Got I?
Yes.
Just for a few. Richard is just for a few persons.
No, but look here. If you're college educated, it means you're supposed to know the simple process how to find someone who did social work. It's a simple process to get somebody to fund the gas for that bus. Just the gas alone. There are companies who would gladly take on that issue. You don't check the Chamber of Commerce in Santa Cruz. You know how many just the gas stations in Santa Cruz would contribute that for fulfilling the tax.
I am saying, sir, with due respect, these parents, they make the sacrifices and give the care too, but most of the time the taxes are not reliable, and as such they're out there maybe sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours waiting. Mr. Curry have his personnel, his spokesperson listening. I would give them some advice. Start the bus and have the children them go to school.
Yeah, man, check the gap. We not give you some advice. Since you don't have no sense, we don't advise you. Ask the people, contact the gas stations in the parish in Santa Cruz, leading down from Lacovia to Santa Cruz. Go to the owners, simple diplomacy. We ask it, this is what we're doing, we want to get the children from way up in our compound. Use the historicity. And I'm sure each of the gas stations will contribute some gas monthly to keeping the bus running, or even give you at a reduced cost.
The government, all right? I am saying the same place that we get the bus from, they would have given vouchers so that we could go and have the boss, fill up.
Yeah. So the problem is not just Mr. Curry, you know. The problem is not just him, you know. The problem is all of who claims to them around him, you know. And not one of them can take up a phone and have the mindset to think of a developmental step to help benefit the town, you know. But they're just yapping like a bunch of Chinese. That's the fact is, you know. The fact is, you think it's me and Mr. Curry at the party. You think some maroon, no way for things not fixed already. You think me away for them, but I make my next semester, Richie. You know, so them people I come give you that. And you are going to meet them. I get it done. When I hear about it, I do it done already. That means who the rest people too.
Buzzer, Richie Curry and you were party, right?
Yes, I remember.
Don't. So, you see, it's like the was and the bees. Got I?
Yes.
You see, once Richard get certain thing, he figure he know it all. He
used to call me every day and ask me for advice and come on my foot and say, boy, explain that to me.
You know.
But no, listen now. When people realize that you are incorruptible and they have corrupt intentions, it's not going to work. It's just as simple as that. My intention towards Maroon was genuine and true for development. Him looking a way out.
But what I want to ask you, Colonel Ferron, when you were occupying the office of the Maroon, did you have a 9 to 5 or because people are up the assumption that the Colonel doesn't work right now, and there has to be some form of income. He just have a newborn child, and does the government pay the Colonel to sit in the office?
No, but however, sir,
yes.
What you should remember is that you should consider that before. Not only that, you should consider that before. Because
you should have figured out how to live. Your living should not depend on being Maroon Colonel. You should have done and figure out how to live and eat the daily bread. I was at Kingston Night Market. I did a live video from Kingston Night Market last week Tuesday. Here was the Colonel Marcia Douglas of Charlestown with her people with 2 tables of products selling that they're making them community, making her daily bread. Not fat Colonel that means that you must sit down and wait for Charlestown money for feed her.
No, this is what I am saying. And you see, Gadai,
yes,
I was not living in the town because I, as you know, was a policeman then working out. But what I did, I usually go up in a weekend or whenever time I have time. However, I have a deputy, so-called. I have a so-called deputy then, because if my deputy is going to say when persons go to them for anything, for instance, there was no water in the tank, I leave money so that water could be put in the tank. And when them go and say, well, listen, there's no water in the tank. And go and tell Ferran. That's what you vote for. You did not vote for me. And remarks like those. I remember on one occasion when we were sister over in
hold on, Colonel. I think I finally get Mr. Rowe. Grand Rising, Mr. Murdy Rowe. How you doing?
Hello, I'm fine.
Mr. Murdy Rowe, why I can't get in contact with you from yesterday? You're in the fields doing some work or what?
Yeah, I told Opal that too because your
yes
your number never actually stored, and then I stored some numbers and it seemed as if I had excess numbers, so those that never stored had dissipated.
Wow. Let me say Grand Rising. I have former Colonel Ferron Williams and Daniel Z. Buzzer on the line. You can say Grand Rising to your brothers if you choose, common courtesy, and they can say likewise to you.
Well, I'm so sorry. I don't have the time really.
You're a historian.
All the time I would love.
You're one of those historians that I have to talk to as far as Maroon business go, because you are very knowledgeable and you're a former colonel, and we're trying to unite our brothers and sisters. We may have our differences, but we stand united as Maroon. So that's why I gave you a call this morning.
Okay.
I wonder if I can get talk to me.
I can deal with the Maroon thing, but not on any partisan level.
No.
And I personally don't want no question from certain people.
Okay.
But in Canada,
you're not. No, I'm not allowing anybody else on this call. The only person on the call right now is former Williams and Daniel, and I'm sure that Mr. Williams was just talking highly that he spoke to you yesterday, and Daniel is just gone off the line. But I'll allow you, Mr. Williams.
No, the only person I spoke to yesterday was Opal. Nobody else.
Okay. Are you on level ground with Mr. Williams? Your two former colonel. Is everything good?
We don't really have any regular contact, but I'm not personal.
All right. Mr. Ferran was making some very crucial points before you came on. He was concerned about how the office that both of you occupied is really running. We don't want to get into that. But is there anything on your mind? Because the last time I heard, you made some disclosure on far as our historical legacy as Maroon. It wasn't taken in an intellectual form. We still have brothers and sisters who are ignorant to the way forward. Is there anything you want to say before we have a little reasoning?
Well, I am honestly, I am unmindful to say certain things because exercise become a physical target.
Wow.
Because we went on some radio station, Cliffview station and RFM and be on the headlines, and so I create enemies, and I don't have no M60 machine gun to really protect myself, but I don't have bodyguards as such.
You and Mr. Williams share the said sentiments as to not a fearful of your life, but concerned that certain elements within the Maroons are not appreciative of you expressing, both you and Mr. Williams expressing yourself. Why do you feel that is happening?
Well, it's simple because there are a lot of misgivings and fake interpretation of what the Maroon represent and the way of the code. I don't want to get into at this level. I am not a PNP and I am not a JLP. None of them is good for the Maroon, really. None of them.
Yes,
and I can say that clearly. None of them is good for the Maroon movement, any at all.
Yes, sir.
And I speak without a fear of any contradiction. I don't know if other people share that sentiment, but it's my personal belief and my assessment based on what I see happening over the years since, especially since Jamaica get independence.
Yeah, the shaman.
I see where the Maroon movement has been severely compromised, politically severely compromised. So I hold no brief for any political party in Jamaica, really. And that is why I, along with some people, are setting up a Maroon Island office, and it will be structured very independently of the Jamaican politics, whereby all the Maroon communities, their leaders would be free to be a part of it. Really, and we need transparency and openness, because if anybody going to use the name Maroon, not come in the capacity as Maroon and going to solicit contribution in form of money and things like that, and it's not being authenticated by the community, then it makes no sense that a mini scamming, and I won't be a part of those things. I don't want to get rich.
All right, we are wealthy. But let me ask a question between you and Mr. Ferron. You have both occupied the office of Okong Town as Colonel, and I've spoken to Mr. Williams. You were before Mr. Ferron Williams, right? So yes, I am seeing where it seems as if transitional government, as far as the Maroon goes, is not happening. Did you and Mr. Williams have a smooth transition when Mr. Williams take over from your from your administration?
Well, it's not from my administration, no. It took over from Teddy.
Okay.
It was me and then Petty and then
how was that?
Williams and then the present one.
How was that transition?
But there was no serious divider animosity, so to speak.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah, but I based on the present arrangement, I cannot be part of. I can be a part of the internal running of a compound at this stage.
No. But bring it up before I ask you the next question, Mr. Williams. Your administration transition when you got it from the last colonel, how smooth was it? Was it still an amicable thing where people still rap and we could share ideas for the betterment of the nation of the Maroons?
Very much so. Very much so. That you see us in everywhere when an election is being held, person would be at each other's throat. But as soon as the election is over,
yes,
especially us in Akampo, everybody would be a united force.
Yes,
everybody would be back in one accord.
Yeah. So we have that established. You wanted to say something before you ask the next question to Mr. Rowe? No. Now, Mr. Murdy Rowe, the Rowe name is very predominant in Maroon history. There's many a Rowe out there. And your legacy that you have as a past colonel, could you shed some light on it? What was some of your accomplishments?
Yes, I have no pitch in telling you that, but let me first say that I'm going to tell you that Nanny real name is Matilda Rowe.
Matilda Rowe.
And the Matilda Rowe history behind it will not go publicly because piracy are all around. My book is being written and it will carry comprehensively the information surrounding her being named Matilda Rowe. Now in my accomplishment, under my watch, we have there was a water project assisted by late Colonel Wright, and we had pipe water in the community, and as just soon after the late Colonel Petty took over, water dissipate from the pipes and none come in the community after that. None come in the community. 1, 2, I started a laborative banana project where 200 farmers in a compound was to plant 80 acres of banana.
Yes.
Western Banana Company was behind it, and Kingle Thomas from the Agricultural Credit Bank, they fund the project and what have you. And the land tenure of the Maroon Treaty was not used as a collateral. It was not used as a collateral, so to speak. We have the community center, which hosts part of it hosts the colonial office, and was the rules put on some of the windows through my instrumentality, because the celebration used to kept at the monument then, and right across we say if rain fall, then they could rush over to shelter.
Yes.
To shelter there. And well, my father, Secretary of State, he got the first grant of 5,000 US. Well, it not come in, it's spent through UNESCO office in Kingston.
Yes.
We're a part of the community center and build a museum. Sometime after my term expired, the artifacts were taken out of the office while on loan to the Monroe Teachers College over in Monroe there, Malvern area there, and to date those artifacts are still there, and that is a WRONG.
Yes.
WRONG. Yeah.
No. Wow. Continue.
I built a heritage village called the Maroon Heritage Village.
Yes.
And after President took over, they have TPD, a government entity, coming to assist and change the name from Maroon Heritage Village to Bickle Village.
Wow. My God.
And that's another wrong. And because they become him out of ignorance, him becoming a puppet of the Jamaican system there.
Oh, legit.
And then Captain Lissimo Kojo was the commander of the chief of the Maroon Armed Forces, and no other. He was the supreme commander of the chief military commander of the Maroon Armed Forces that resist slavery and things like that.
Yes.
And I start to construct the Kojo house in the same farm as it was at the old town. And it never complete. And sometime after Petty them take over, they burnt down, they pulled down the place all entirely. Those were some of my basic achievements as being colonel in charge of a compound. Yeah.
Wow.
It is not outmatched yet. It has not outmatched yet.
That accomplishment has not been. Now, Daniel Z. Buzzard on the line. Daniel, is there anything you want to ask these two colonel? Because I know that you're very instrumental in the happening. Historical.
No, man. If you don't listen to me, get wolf for teaching, and then they are Maroon town. If you don't listen, me not for you to over here, me can go at them foot.
Yeah.
And they are them foot. No, I'm just letting it unravel because it must come out. You see, one of the things is that 10, 15 years ago, there was no way for the world to understand what's going on within a company or any other Maroon town. Nowhere at that point. So there's a kind of change coming up and a new kind of behavior that's going to be demanded that many are not ready for, because even the present administration does not recognize that, listen, you are under global scrutiny. You think all of that media and press was just for those big. It also means you're under observation. So it's not just the 1,000 Maroon. So your actions have to be seen good to No, the world are looking at you. You have to come good, because everybody watching it, they may not be saying nothing, but you're on a global communication platform.
Yes.
So people are watching.
Yes.
So the man who knows to run a business, when he say something foolish, he must say, but the boy, them people don't know what they do.
Yes.
When people see you put out a GoFundMe for water, and 2 years on and you can't show no statement, what you think some people out there who are putting what? All right, I see a version of business associates of mine. Maroon I see a virgin up in section up in Blue Mountain, past Irish Town, where we used to live, where our family still associate and deal with coffee. I see a virgin put in a water system to facilitate 500 people. That's half of who they are around town. Using the river water that's running down, coming off the hill up there. So it's not like we're chatting. So it's done. It's easy. Well, there's a way. You're not fooling nobody. If you want to do these things in this day and age of technology, if you didn't want to set up a water system for your people, it cannot take you 2 years. If you have, remember, I know, if you have all of the power you put up GoFundMe, why taking it 2 years?
All right, hold on. Colonel Ferron Williams, you wanted to say something?
No, sir. I'm listening.
All right, what I want to stress on is Daniel touching a point right now. We just hear the historian himself, Murdy Rowe, talk about water. We hear you, Mr. Williams, talk about water. And I want to ask, all of these knowledge and wisdom that we've carried for how long now, at this point, why isn't we see, why aren't we gelling, Murdy? Murdy, why aren't we gelling? What is really happening?
What is really happening?
Yeah, why aren't we seeing eye to eye? Why it seems that there's a lot of debate.
Stop it. Get it. Richard Curry does not want to listen or entertain nothing from nobody else. It's about him. He's the star and he's trying to make himself into one. Stop it. It's obvious. Stop asking these questions and address the issue and start saying, Richard Curry, why is it if you don't know how to put in an ID system and then it's faster, send you to say, look here, since we got the ID, this is the system, we're ready to show you the process. Why is it you ignore Basra and Dennis Foster and them who research what it needs to be done and desperately 2 times now try to put in an ID that don't serve no purpose? Just ask the man the question and stop going on and play this petty diplomacy.
I just asked you a while ago if you have anything to ask the man, and you said no. So I
asked me, man, may I tell you, that's acknowledge, sir. Yes. You need to come to an acknowledgement after hearing everything, say, you know, sir, really and truly. Yes. The problem is Mr. Richard Curry and his mindset. Because if Murdy didn't have a running water, Murdy had running water in a compound in this time. 2 pipes.
Yes.
And you now come as Richard Curry, more educated, more advanced, and you can't get it done while putting out a GoFundMe as you come in, say that your focus pan. And it's been 2 years. Means you need to listen to some other people, because clearly the answer is not in your brain. You are just here holding the position. But the answer is not in your brain. Stop the joking. This is not a media show.
No, the reason. Daniel,
so then you must recognize already how much more time you got.
But hold on, my lord.
What you think? Why are we not gelling? Here you have me, Murdy, and Ferron clearly talking the same thing. I mean, why we're not gelling?
So Richard Curry is the main reason why we're not gelling. Can we confer that, gentlemen, that we have a community?
For the development of the community, everybody else gel. It's just one man and look out for himself.
The reason why I asked that question, and yes, go ahead, Mr. Murdy. Go ahead. Mr. Rowe, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, but just one line. I'm going to take our information. 10 seconds, no less.
Okay. Mr. Williams, you want to say something pertaining to what Daniel just said a while ago, that is where we are at a crossroad between the administration, this administration, and the rest of administration? Yes,
Ras, I'm back.
Yeah, hold a minute. Mr. Williams was answering something.
Okay.
I think Basra licked the nail on the head. I mean, communication in whatever way, means or form, is very essential.
Yes.
And if you find person not communicating because of selfish pride, then the people will continue to branch on more than one occasion.
Well,
and it is not being accepted. That's, let me leave it.
Okay. I was told this morning that, because I told the two individuals that you had reached out to Curry administration, and they say they have no record of that, nothing of the sort. You haven't reached out to them. Mr. Murdero, have you reached out to the Curry administration?
No, I'm not involved one way or the other. Nobody reach out to me, and I don't reach out to anybody. Nobody reach out to me, and I don't reach out to anybody. And that is the honestly truth coming from Zion.
Is there a body over the office of the Richard Curry, like the Council of Elders or anything like that? Is anything there as a guideline? Because you two gentlemen, as prior colonel to the Curry administration, have knowledge as to what needs to be done. Is there a council there or anything of that sort?
Well, there was an attempt. There were attempt to have a board of elders or board of management in place, but it is honestly stagnated at this stage for internal reasons.
Mr. Williams, go ahead.
And if I am to be a part of any organization, it has to be meaningful. It has to have the juice, the energy, the will, the wit, the determination, all those things in it,
Mr. Williams, do you share that said sentiments that a council of elders would do good to oversee what is happening as far as any administration that comes in?
Very much so. Very much so, sir.
Daniel?
It would.
The longest institution in the Maroon community has been the Council of Elders. Meaning the colonels come and born and dead, but the Council of Elders is always there. As I said to Mr. Curry, I said, how is it you're claiming that you inherit? Because Mr. Curry, in his media lines, Lion said he inherited a Council of Elders from Freshradiovybz. That's what Mr. Curry said, right? I mean, I said, if you inherited a Council of Elders from Freshradiovybz and you have that such as there's a Council of Elders guiding you there. Who are they? Give their names. And secondly, how is it when he was doing the constitution that he was putting forward? How he never entrenched the Council of Elders in the constitution? I know him can't answer. These are con artists, and we are going to call them out consistently.
Wow.
Well, Russ, let me add something to that. Let me add something to that right away.
Yes, sir.
The colonel cannot incorporate Council of Elders. The Council of Elders supersede a colonel. It supersede a Maroon Council. Seed. Yes. But
it's the
successive colonel appears to
the ultimate authority in the community, not the colonel.
So until their meaningful attempt to have that structured. You see, one of the big hallmark, is that no government and organization can have the desired effect without we have proper security arrangement, and there is no such thing in our compound now. So majority of the people are there are reserved. They have fear, and the Jamaican police force flip-flopping, and they have to flip-flop too, because they know that the Maroon have real autonomy, autonomy, but saying it openly. So if and when something happens in the community that based on the present arrangement, it can't be handled in a balanced way, you call the police, so to speak, but they don't want to tell us that the Maroon have them full autonomy and what have you. But I can read between lines and see that now that is serious and that need to be addressed like yesterday. But it can't be because there are some real divides. And to the point where some people chat and talk about, oh, you see, Mary, can't come up there fearful. Things like that. They are partially right, not partially right. But then again, they are being misled and misdirected, and as a result, it's ignorance. And when that is so, then you're going to have a lot of fake information and things like that. Because I'm in Montego Bay most of the times, and Mary DeRoe is a household name.
Yes.
Because when I was in charge of a campong, I visit the mainstream media. I'm a talker. Mainstream media. That's many people, when they happen to reach me, them say, oh, are you near Mary DeRoe? And things like that. Because I was in the police force and I speak strongly in the church thing, and if any pastor have any thing, and I believe it, I will express my disgust at it. That is me.
No.
And that is why I could not stay in the police force till I could not stay. Hold
on, because people, let me stop the rhythm, because seeing that you told me both yourself and Mr. Farrell under the government of Jamaica, but you are colonel of an indigenous independent group that is the Maroon. For brothers and sisters out there who want they cannot see that. Do you think that has led to some compromising where even the present administration can use these pointers to say, well, they are more doing work than you and Mr. Farron?
Well, they didn't use me. They could not use me, and that is why I left early. I did not stay till me 60. I left early because I don't enjoy any hanky panky, so to speak. Because as colonel and second to run the Maroon business, I publicly, when Mr. Patterson was Prime Minister, and he must get speaker in our campaign in 95, I speak because the police at Magati were going out with a nonsense, and the superintendent in charge of the parish was going with nonsense, and I speak publicly, which Gleaner in Jamaica, Daily Gleaner carried me, and front page, not in the middle, hide the middle, and what have you. So because of that, I could not be elevated much in the force, and that is against the background of what some people believe to, because I have no strong political the PNP nor JLP. We will speak just set the law, set nan, just kojo, just set kanki, kwanki, nyang, kipon, nina, them. Just that. So but I in my last period I have a commissioner of police in the person of Colonel Trevor Macmillan, who come from the second from the army in charge of the police force. That man is the best commissioner of police the force ever seen in my living. And while somebody seen around believe that I may cross the line and what have you, wearing 2 caps and what have you, the police force would give me a salary, the Maroon Coast Colonel give me none. But I was careful that there were no real conflict of interest, none.
Why I asked?
Because I didn't hug up no politician, I didn't hug up no prime minister. So I get no personal benefit.
Yeah, why I asked that question, Mr. Farron, Mr. Farron, you want to answer that question?
You want to repeat that for me?
What you said a while ago?
I'm asking which question that was now.
People
was it a conflict of interest?
Yes. I asked that question I think the last time, and I was told that I there wasn't a conflict of interest as far as you go.
No, there wasn't any conflict of interest.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because the Prime Minister of Jamaica came out and said that Maroons will be getting no more stipend, they'll be getting no more recognition as far as his administration goes. And people are reading into it that we are going to have a butted situation with the Corporation of Jamaica not recognizing the rights of the Maroons will be becoming a clash. Do you think that we may have a situation developing there?
Let me answer that.
Yes.
Let me answer that.
Yeah.
There is what you said a while ago has much merit in it, because I was a co-op member of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, otherwise called Parish Council.
Yes.
Represent the Maroon interest in the parish, and based on what was said by the Colonel and the Prime Minister retaliate, I was asked to stand up from attending meetings, committee meetings at the parish council, so to speak. So I become a direct victim of that issue between the Colonel and the Prime Minister, or present Prime Minister. So it sends a message, and it says something. It says something, because I could have go publicly and question it, but I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't want the other party to look pretty either. So I stand up on the issue, but there's a real issue that the international community can assist. A media house like yours and others can assist, but you can only assist if they have indigenous people's right into consideration. And presently, the Jamaican media model, as it's structured now, don't have their own interest at all, not at all, because they behave like they don't know that they could be from our tribe. They don't know, they don't accept it. It's a upper class thing, and the Maroons must be seen as below bottom. So the island that I'm going to will be established based in Montego Bay. We will not look any funding from neither the political directorate nor those at the higher upper class in the private sector. We will go international. America, Canada, Babylon, Trinidad, wherever.
Yeah. Daniel, you want to explain anything right there? Because there's a lot of things to be explained, because I think a conflict of interest, as Mr. Rose said a while ago, the Jamaica Corporation does not have any interest to give the Maroons their rights, because the minute the Maroon gets their right, it is going to be a counteraction to what they've been doing. Because I heard Mr. Rose say something about tribe, and I don't buy into tribe. I believe Maroon is a nationality. Our ancestors, the treaty was signed in a Kongpong town.
Well, indigenous people.
Yeah, well, the treaty was signed in a Kongpong town, but it wasn't signed for the community of a Kongpong town. It was signed on behalf of the brothers and sisters who know themselves to be Maroon. Am I lying? Am I lying? Anybody can dispute that?
Well, let me say this, that we had two distinct groupings of Maroon, the Windward Maroon and the Leeward Maroons. And Trelawney Town Maroon falls within the ambit of the Leeward Maroons.
Yes.
And that was a full treaty signed, and ours was seen as full autonomy, so to speak. But over time, successive leaders play around, maybe because they don't have enough knowledge, so to speak, and the encroachment take place in every facet of the Maroon life, in terms of their rights, lands, and everything. And because the colonial them over the years, they were poor, some don't get no proper schooling, so they could easily use them as bait. And that is one of the ways we lose so much land, because here is it. One is saying what we get 150,000 acres of land. Another say it was a boundary set by a certain royal engineer. And the plan was drawn by and things like that. And things like that. And then we have a lot of lies. They have a plaque in the community center compound now. We state the clause that the Maroon and we get 1,500 acres of land. The person who engineered should go to prison, should be in prison up to now. It's 1,500 acres of land. They should be in prison. They should be in prison. That's a lie, deception, thief, everything in one. Because we couldn't fight for and them cut the amount of years the battle went on for two as well. And yet at the same time, those same people now want to talk about reparation for Jamaica. Reparation what? Jamaica is not qualified and competent to negotiate reparation. The Maroon does, but Jamaica it does not. And so we will have to deal with reparation. That's why I speak, boss.
Hey, we need to get these things documented. I think His Excellency Daniel wanted to say something.
Yeah, man, I think you can go ahead.
No, man, one of the first things, we have to stop repeating what was said to us without checking it out. You understand me? Mm-hmm. So, like, there's this constant use of this word Trelawney Town Maroons. Now, any document that says Trelawney Town Maroons is a scam.
Fraud.
Because in 1738 was when Edward Trelawney came to Jamaica. There was no parish called or place in Jamaica called Trelawney until 1770 when he died and them name a parish after him. So how is it a 1738 document for set Trelawney Town? There was nowhere in Jamaica. This is the white man writing up a document to try to put himself in a history. Now, until black people are ready to challenge what white people tell them. So this constant repeating of what the white man tell us. Because white man, no Maroon can show me and say, our document where it say, go say now. But where I read from, you know. I just get to go school, and in a Jamaican schooling system, it's called monkey see, monkey do. If you can just repeat with the white where teacher say you look like you're bright, or if you don't even understand, just repeat it back. You understand me?
Yeah. So Mr. Rowe, go on.
All of this has to be addressed until we address these realities and stop trying to operate on a sham. You understand me? Because if it's for it to be a treaty, anybody who call this thing a treaty is a ras dunce. A treaty must be drafted between two people. You cannot come to the first meeting of two people who are war with a document with you and make up by yourself with your demands and not only a done thing as a treaty.
Yes, yes, Mr. Rowe.
We had, as I said earlier, we had the Leeward Maroons and the Windward Maroons. Those must be emphasized, Leeward Maroon. So if people are ignorant about and just skepticism about the treaty, they have to be careful how you tread. Leeward Maroon and the Windward Maroons. And the Windward Maroons.
Daniel, hold on, make him finish.
Hey.
Continue, Mr.
Can I repeat?
Daniel is up. Yeah, go ahead, Mr.
A white man tell us about Leeward and Windward Maroons. What was our history for ourselves? The people was one united people moving through the mountain together. There was no separation. The word Leeward and Windward is some white people word. Yeah. We never had any Windward Maroons. And this is where the problem lies. Until you can start think for yourself and stop trying to repeat what a white man said to sound like my bride. Think for yourself. Why would we separate ourselves and have two different set of people? There was moving in between the towns them, through the hills them.
Let me ask Mr. Ferran and Mr. Williams this. No,
Gadi.
Yes.
That's Gadi?
Yes.
Because I doesn't realize that the Maroons in the east were mainly under the transportation of by the Spaniard, where we were more linked with the British.
We were brought here by the Spaniard.
As sources here, some were here.
Fantastic, no.
As such.
No.
And they never called Maroon yet.
Everybody was fighting the British. But we were all originally brought here. All of us were brought here by the Spaniards.
No, but can I say something? Because what I tried to
all of us.
All right,
by 1750.
Not all.
Well, hold on. There's difference between a captured Maroon and a Maroon that has not been captured. This falls in line with brothers and sisters calling themselves Jamaican and telling themselves a horse hogwash. It's hogwash because we existed at a point that we say in 1738 where the appellation Maroon was the Jamaica, but after 1962, when we get occupied and captured fully by the British under the so-called independence, that's where we go wrong. Where this thing called independence, we fought the British for quite a while and then signed over back our freedom to the British Empire under the appellation of being called a Jamaican.
Jedi.
Yeah.
You need to cut fantasy. Here's the reality. When the Spaniards came here, there was 700 years of black people in Europe ruling them. Invaded from across Africa, came across Cartagenas, and was there for 700 years, from 1780 to 1490. They defeated these Africans at the Battle of Granada, 1490. Columbus here, 1490. They had to take that 700 years of black people out of Europe and put down here. The baddest them, these were all Spanish islands. They were put on Jamaica, Cuba, and Hispaniola. That is where all those blacks came from. None of them was rockers but the Spaniards. Then the British took the island. The British went and got another set of slaves that came here, who was never part of that struggle. They served on the plantation. There's no evidence of them running away where. There was no roadway. This was a jungle. Running away where? The Maroons was up in the mountain, and there was no roadway between the Maroons and where the plantation was. The plantation was on the flats. One bag of fantasy that's never been thought about. Well, think about it. All these roads that you see in Jamaica were built post-independence, you know, brother. When my little pitney I come on Maroon Town and I go Mona Prep and I come on Maroon Town, a track on Mall Road. Stop it. So we have to recognize that yes, there was one set that was brought by the Spaniards that them runway because they was ruling Spain for 700 years. So they never afraid of the Spaniards. Not all of them. 150 years you can show no record. We can provide. When we go to University of Salamanca and Spain, then provide me with the records. Because Spain they do the work. The first and the largest colonizer was Spain. Jamaica was a Spanish island, Cuba, Hispaniola. There was no French over there yet. And Spain bring everybody come around here. And then Spain left. And then the British went for another set. And those sets was never part of any struggle. Those sets stayed on the plantation and work. Because them tell them, say, have a set of people up at the bush if you ever run where, them are going to me, no. There was no interference between us and them. None. We were up there, so there was no roadway, it was a jungle. That's why they couldn't find us. The time them come out a compound and when we blindfold them and carry them up there to take the surrender and the blood away. So there's two different set of people that was brought here and them never blend. So who got the independence? Was us who was Maroons? And the ones that the British then did come at them turn Jamaica.
Yes. Mr. Rowe, any disputing that?
Yeah, I'm not accepting everything that was today. He didn't grow up in a compound, so I would like to know when get those information. If it's the same source that people like Muta them get it from.
Hold on.
I just want to know that.
Daniel did not grow up in a compound. I have the next 2 minutes, and I wanted to just say that where do we go from here, Mr. Rowe? Because we do have a situation on our hand. Where do we go from here?
Well, with dear sir, first and foremost, and there much more can be said. Much more can be said that Bozra himself is unaware of and don't pretend. But we need to set up the office that we can be structured. We can sit at a table and do our thing in a proper way. That will convince the international community, so to speak. So that office have to be in an independent place outside of a compound or Morton and scatter in the Maroon community. Least it be said that it one-sided because maybe the road might have come from a compound, so he would have the compound interest first and foremost. And we want to structure the office at a location where it is not seen as.
Yes.
But there are much to be said that Bozra honestly don't know, but I don't he will not confess to that, really. That's you make a human. He will not confess to that. He's catching on.
Well,
he's more advanced. He's more advanced than the present colonel. Yes, but he's catching on and must not be pretend as if what he's saying is authentic. It is not really, because if you look at the 1795 Maroon uprising in Banfield St. James, he can't speak much about it more than what he read in the books that written by white people. The books.
Daniel cannot
that is
speak
written
much
by white
about
people.
that rebel.
No, yeah, very little. Because we have 3 Maroon esquires that went to Halifax and Nova Square, Sierra Leone in West Africa, with these people who they deport out here, Maroon, and they came back to Jamaica, and I can't challenge, but any one of them, they don't have the names of those 3 esquires.
Tell the man say me and the cultural attache from the Sierra Leone, me dip on top of that like white on top of rice, brother. Me not beg you for search my knowledge in my elder. Me say, last week Wednesday, me and but the cultural attache for the Sierra Leone embassy was spending the night together listening to music. I spent the whole day with them making that plans about the Maroons and the show, the connection. Don't tell me what
I don't know a lot about the Maroon. And don't know a lot about the Maroon in Jamaica. Don't know. They were under the Spanish, they were under the colonial influence then. They don't know a lot, man. They don't know a lot. They don't know. With the greatest respect to them, high position as ambassador, they don't know a lot. They don't. Nobody can know the Israeli, the Jew history better than the Jews. Than the Jews. That example.
So, Mr. Rowe, you not only bear him up the ancestors, you also live in a Kongpong town. And I think what Daniel has done is Daniel has started a conversation that you were continuing, and we're picking up a lot of things out of these conversations so we can give to our offspring so they can make sense out of it, because a lot of things, as Daniel stated a while ago, is written by the oppressors and then it is repeated by our brothers and sisters as if it's Bible.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, so they use any information they have.
Gadai, if you want to know the true sentiments of history in any time, go back to the parliamentary records and what was said in parliament by these men. Frankly, we're the worst of the world not hearing. No, the first thing them do is that they move the Spanish records, them Ghana, Spain, and right before independence, the British move all parliamentary records. Especially even the Morant Bay Rebellion, you want to know how it goes? Remember that from the colonial parliament, the word was given, you know. You think it's Judge Kerr just get up and just do something? No, it was a parliamentary decision from the colonial parliament. When they tried to take Maroon land, there's what they call Maroon Land Act. That they passed in their colonial parliament without inviting a Maroon. Taking, just saying, we're going to take this 5 million acres right here. So. The Maroon Land Act. Or no Maroon was invited because we and them never interfaced. You understand me? There was no true interface between us and them and their world. We was living, and when we done the fighting. So these, you have to go back to these levels of records. So even the University of the West Indies and all this here, their records that them repeat is what left back here, but they don't have the parliamentary record to show what was the true sentiment of the island. These are the farmers and the landowners and the power structure of the island, how they really felt and what decisions they made. And what you're getting is a reflection of the decision. The Morant Bay trial was a reflection of a parliamentary decision by the colonial parliament.
Because as you talk about Morant Bay,
all the white man must say, let's kill all of them. They should all die. That you know, that was the parliament to show you what was the true sentiment. Judge Eyre's trial is just a reflection of that. It's not even what caused it. He's taking orders from them.
Murdero, let me say, when is this book slated for you? When is it coming out?
It's not completed, you know. There are some few more information need to be put in and then it's edited. So it's not likely to complete this year. May. Then so far as we get all this potent information, because I'm looking sponsored to go to Sierra Leone right now and Halifax, where I shall, able to garner some more information from those those indigenous people who, the remnant of them that remain.
Murder says I can put you on to the contact. I'm going to send you his number because that's a good thing.
Yes,
so I am going to send you the cultural attaché of the Sierra Leone embassy. I spent the whole day with him on last Wednesday. Because that is what the Sierra Leone embassy is about, making that link. The Sierra Leone embassy, they were up in Moortown. They were up in Moortown last week, Friday. They're making back that link with Maroons. So what you're doing, they would want to hear about.
Last but not least, Mr. Rowe, the rest of Scottsall and all these other indigenous areas that has been isolated as far as Maroon place. Have you been making the routes with linking with the rest of chiefs, the rest of colonels or chiefs of this community?
Yes, man. I was with them on Heroes Day, in October. In October, and we have some information and some understanding to have contacts.
Yes.
Have contacts with them. So it won't be a one-man band thing.
So this office in St. James will have multi
faceted. Yes.
Attachment.
Yeah.
We need to get that. We need to get that. My time is up, but I definitely want to thank yourself and
Murdy, make us commend Murdy upon that, because here's one of the things.
Yes.
And that's what we find even in this administration under Richard Curry. Anybody do anything as Maroons, you think he needs to endorse it? No. I love the fact that Mr. Rowe take him culture so serious, even as an elder, and still him not give up on it. He have projects and him start an organization to promote whatever his aspect and understanding of the culture. Richard Curry hear about this now, going to call people and tell them, so, this is not a Maroon, it's not endorsed by us. As if they are the only people with the right to show and use the word Maroon and represent any aspect of Maroon culture to the world.
Ignorance.
We commend you, Mr. Rowe, on your ground.
Ignorance.
You are by birthright an Ashanti priest.
Yep. And that is what I want Mr. Murdy to tell people. That listen, it's not a Kong Pong town that make you a Maroon. It's not living it's not a Kong Pong town that make you a Maroon. Maroon is a nationality, it's a description of a people. Maroon, Cimarron, as what Daniel said, meaning wild and untamed. It's a descriptive word, and that's why we choose to use.
Hear what?
Yeah.
Hear what? It's same foundation me going at is what the church said now. Some through the water, some through the flood, some through the fire, but all through the blood.
Thank you. Wall away, man.
All through the blood.
Yeah.
Through the blood. The blood.
Yo, Mr. Rowe.
It gives me strength from day to day.
Yes. Yeah, a one blood. Mr. Rowe.
Yeah.
I want to chat with you more often because I don't want nobody feel like them can silence you, because listen to me. The power of the people is more powerful than anybody that is in power. The power of the people is more powerful than any church, any politician, army. We are the government. And when I speak to people like yourself and Daniel, and of course other colonels out there who have been fighting the battle, as we said, Richard is not our enemy. You are not our enemy. We know the oppressors. We know the people who are oppressing our people. And we're at a crossroad right now where we have to tell the truth. You cannot get up and be telling people that, listen me, I'm a Jamaican and not a Maroon. That is ignorancy. Our ancestors was and very bold and brave and leave a legacy for us. So we need to take onto ourselves this legacy, man, and don't be afraid of it. I thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah, we can talk after the year some other time.
Yes, man. I go call you. I'm going to save your number, man. Thank you so much. All right?
Yeah. Okay, good.
Right. There you have it, historically speaking. Two former colonel from a Kong Pong town alongside Daniel Z. Basra. It doesn't get any more interesting than this. This is what we're supposed to be heading and dealing with. We have work to be done, my brothers and sisters. Remember, united we stand, divided we fall. And we're not here to slew our brothers, because our brothers is a victim also of the corporation. I will leave you with this. If you're a friend of Richard Curry, tell him to come over to don't watch a nice in our market with the one bag of nice, because we Maroon now deal with one bag of nice. We are study with correct change. is we correct change we are study. And we refuse to be subjugated under the corporation of Jamaica when we beat the crown. And crown is the one running the puppet government called Jamaica. Anybody out there who get up and feel more or less say you're proud to be Jamaican, you're supporting the crown. We are Maroons. We are the Maroons, and we are the Khalifa. We ruled Spain for 900 years. Our ancestors set this long before Greece and Rome know anything about civilization. Our people did it. Our people are in line with the Anukians. When we say Nyankapong, the gods are with us, means that we are celestial beings. We're bigger than what we look like right now. And let me tell you, no look an educated fool around here, so no fully dunce. Educated fools, boy or girl will get taught by the colonial slave masters can come tell we nothing. Cause we don't believe nothing what the oppressors them say. Them can't tell about Christopher Columbus discover nothing. Cause we there around here long before Christopher Columbus come. We are the Khalifa. Yeah man, until tomorrow, we'll do it all over again. You know. Remember, so when you say you're a Maroon, be proud. Be very, very, very proud to know that you're a Maroon. And as me said, we have the entire rest of Maroon brothers and sisters out there looking at that place they call Jamaica as an example. Haiti, all of them, yeah, are we upon the creme de la creme. We are the 144 square miles what them talk about. Peace.
Fresh Radio Vibes. Fresh Radio Vibes. Fresh Radio Vibes and the award-winning community show, The Maroon Agenda. Hear about your sovereignty, independence, and human rights. Come be a part of your liberation and unite. The Maroon Agenda. Each Tuesday at 6 p.m. sharp, live on Freshradiovybz with your host, the Minister of the Independence. Rise up, you mighty people. The Agenda.